Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know it's been quite a while since I uploaded, so I thought today would be a good, quick, brief video to explain to you how to get this notoriously frustrating 394 to work. Now, I've been fondling with this thing for years. I've had this for, I don't remember how long now, but for a while, and I had originally had the original beacon top, but the needle was bent, it was loose, the fins were all damaged and nasty, so I just decided to go the typical route and buy a reproduction beacon top. Now you can see, I got it to work fairly well, and I promise you, there's no catch. I do not have any air filter, no fan blowing, nothing. This is all working by the way Lionel had intended them to operate. So I'll show you the trick and you should be set to go. Now, I'm sure of it that most of you are at my video by searching for results, how to get yours to just work. Yes, they're frustrating. They're very notorious for not working. In my opinion, they're one of the most finicky products Lionel ever released, but I like the nostalgia of it. I remember seeing it as a kid, so I had to get one for myself. And like I said, I've had this one for a couple of years now, so it's been sitting, just not really working. But let's jump into the video. So the first step is to get it at least up to 14 volts. This is a 461 dimple bulb, if I'm correct. You can buy these pretty much anywhere on eBay. That's where I get mine from for a couple bucks. They're not expensive at all. But I would keep it at 14 volts. 14 to 16 is the sweet spot. I do find that 16 volts works better, but I have mine on the, what you would call it, the hard-wired terminal on my KW, and that's 14 volts, which, by the way, if you can, try to always get this set up to a direct transformer terminal. Because if you're running it on the tracks, like most of my lighting are in the buildings, that wattage gets sucked up by the engines, and it doesn't work with this this here beacon tower. You gotta have that full voltage, wattage, amperage to make it work right. Because it's, obviously it's fan driven, it relies on heat, so if you don't have that wattage, you're not getting heat. So that would be my number one tip to start. Second tip is make sure you have the tower level. My layout is ever so slightly uneven, so it did take me a little bit of time to get the fins just right in position in the correct order. But I use popsicle sticks to kind of arc the bottom legs here, but right now it's just sitting directly on the layout, so I guess it's found its spot. So I'm not gonna touch it. Like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm not gonna fix it. But they are notoriously finicky. All right, so this is the original post-war make beacon topper that I had. I will say the pop rivet up here, it's not the best. Like mine, it wobbles quite a bit. I know it's kind of hard to see here, but whenever I set it on top, it just kind of, here, I'll just show you. It just kind of like, it's dead. The needle is very uneven. So it gets caught up on the side there and doesn't spin. So I had to ultimately get a new one. But I will say, I believe the older ones are ever so slightly heavier. So I do appreciate the newer ones are actually lighter. It makes it easier for the needle to spin and rotate. A con about the modern ones is the red lenses don't have quite the same dark tint to it. Which I kind of miss about the older one. It had a darker, more vibrant lenses. But other than that, I have no complaints about the reproduction fins. I'm all about keeping it all original, but I will tell you what, you may as well just buy yourself a reproduction. These things are great. If you get the fins positioned just right, it'll work flawlessly. So I'll show you the positions I have the fins here. And it's kind of interesting, it's a pattern. So four of the fins are perfectly horizontal, and the other four and that's every other fin, those are pointing up to about 60 to 65 degrees. Now, you're gonna have to play with this. I'm not saying that's an exact 60 to 65 degree angle, but that's a rough angle degree. But I've got it working just fine. I did trial it with just 2 of the fins up. That didn't seem to work quite enough. It's kind of like driving a 2-wheel vehicle versus a 4-wheel vehicle. The 4 fins up definitely helps improve the speed at which the beacon turns. And for the bottom intake vents, they're basically just straight up and down, so vertical, but slightly out, ever so slightly. Just enough that it's not gonna bang into the sides of the bulb here. But like I said, get that bulb nice and clean as well, wipe it down, get all that oil off of there, or any smudges, and then go ahead and set the needle straight on top so it's nice and level. Drop it down easy. And then you'll notice here, it doesn't take very long for the beacon topper to get going, but if you're gonna trial and error, wait at least like a minute before you test it to its max. Like here, you can already see it's starting to turn pretty quickly. So those are my tips. I'm really happy with how it's been working. You can see it's kind of heating up here now. But I'll tell you what, this is the greatest it has ever run. And I'm really hoping that you guys will find this method helpful. And yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I really hope that your frustrations with these towers go away, because I am very pleased with it now. And like I said, I have it up to 14 volts on the dot, and make sure everything is perfectly level, including the lenses. You can see they have those little dots on the sides that hold it in place. Make sure those are perfectly horizontal and level. That'll also help with weight stability on either side. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and peace out.